In the cheerful little town of Buttercup Bay, where the air smelled like warm vanilla and every cloud looked like a cupcake, there lived a girl named Patty. Patty wasn't just any girl. She was the happiest little baker in the world. Every day she wore her favorite pink apron with a pattern of tiny cupcakes and a matching chef's hat that flopped over one eye. Patty loved baking everything: blueberry muffins, banana bread, chocolate chip cookies, and her famous cinnamon rolls. But most of all, she loved making cakes that made people smile. One sunny morning, Patty woke up with a burst of excitement. She stretched, yawned, and said, "Today's the day. I'm throwing my very first patty cake party." She jumped out of bed, clapped her hands, and started planning. "I'll invite all my friends," she said. "We'll bake together, dance, and eat cake till sunset." So she grabbed her pastel-colored pens and began writing invitations on cupcake-shaped cards. "You're invited. Come to Patty's kitchen for a magical baking adventure. Bring your favorite ingredient and your biggest smile." Then she tossed the envelopes into the breeze and watched them float like tiny paper butterflies across Buttercup Bay. Soon her kitchen doorbell chimed. Ding dong! First came Benny the bunny, bouncing in with a big basket of orange carrots. "I brought my crunchy carrots. Maybe we can make carrot cake." Patty grinned. "Perfect. That'll add sweetness and crunch." Next, Tina the turtle arrived, balancing a jar of golden honey on her shell. "For extra sweetness," she said slowly, "and a little sticky fun." Then came Milo the mouse, squeaking as he carried a tiny bag of cheese crumbs. "I wasn't sure what to bring, but cheese makes everything better." Finally, Lila the lamb pranced in, her soft wool bouncing. "I brought fresh milk from the meadow this morning," she said proudly. Patty clapped her hands. "We've got carrots, honey, cheese, and milk. This will be the most magical cake ever." Patty set out bowls, spoons, and a rainbow of ingredients: sugar, flour, eggs, and butter. "Okay, little chefs," she said, tying everyone an apron. "Time to bake." Then she began to sing as they worked. Pat a cake, bakers. Hooray! Whisking and mixing the magical way. Flour goes poof, the sugar goes spin. Let's stir up a smile, the fun will begin. Flour floated into the air like snow. Honey dripped in golden streams. Milo sprinkled cheese bits into the bowl, just a pinch, and Benny shredded his carrots. Splat, splat, splat. Lila poured milk into the mix and whispered, "A little kindness makes every recipe better." The friends stirred and laughed until their cheeks were rosy and their aprons dusted with flour. When they finished stirring, the batter shimmered faintly. Patty leaned closer. "Did anyone add sparkles?" "No," said Benny. "No way," said Tina. Milo blinked. "Unless my cheese sparkles now." Patty laughed. "Well, let's bake it and see what happens." She poured the batter into a heart-shaped pan and slid it into the oven. The kitchen filled with a sweet cinnamon honey smell. As they waited, they played a game called Name That Flavor, guessing what the cake might taste like. "Carrot cheesecake," said Benny. "Golden honey swirl," said Tina. "Cheesy carrot surprise," squeaked Milo. "Milk cloud delight," giggled Lila. Patty smiled. "Maybe it's all of them." Ding! The oven timer rang, and Patty carefully opened the door. A wave of colorful light poured out. "Whoa!" gasped the friends. The cake had risen tall and round, its frosting swirling with rainbow colors that shimmered like the morning sun. Tiny sugar stars floated above it, glowing softly. "It's beautiful," whispered Lila. "It smells like happiness," said Benny. Patty giggled. That's because we mixed in laughter, kindness, and teamwork, the best ingredients of all. Out came bowls of fruit, sprinkles, and whipped cream. They sang another verse as they decorated their masterpiece. Spread the frosting nice and neat. Sharing cake is such a treat. Add some love, a swirl, a shine. Now it's time to taste. Divine. Benny made carrot curls. Milo sprinkled tiny crumbs of cheese. Lila poured a swirl of milk glaze. Tina drizzled honey in golden zigzags. Patty crowned the cake with strawberries that sparkled like jewels. At last, the friends gathered around the glowing cake. Patty raised her wooden spoon like a wand and declared, "By the power of friendship and frosting, let's eat." They all took a bite, and instantly their eyes widened. "It tastes like joy," said Lila. "And sunshine," said Benny. "And maybe a hint of cheese," Milo added, licking his whiskers. Everyone burst out laughing. Then something even more magical happened. The leftover batter in the bowl began to bubble and swirl, forming tiny cupcake versions of their big cake. One by one, the cupcakes popped out and danced on the counter. "Look!" cried Patty. "They're dancing cupcakes." The cupcakes twirled in circles, frosting sparkling as they sang. "Bake with friends, laugh and play, sprinkle kindness every day. Whisk and stir, share and smile. That's what makes life sweet and worthwhile." As the sun dipped behind the candy-colored hills, Patty and her friends cleaned up their flowery mess, still giggling from their adventure. Patty placed a cupcake in each friend's basket, "For you to take home, a little taste of magic and friendship." "Thanks, Patty," they all said together. As her friends waved goodbye, Patty looked around her kitchen, crumbs on the counter, flower footprints on the floor, and a heart full of happiness. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Bye.